Now we want you to share with us our latest and greatest dream. A place of hopes and dreams, facts and fancy, all in one. That's it, right here. Disneyland.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of the Way of Magic podcast. I'm Steve, and I'm joined, of course, by Armando over there. How are you doing, Armando?
I'm good, Steve. It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
It is good to be back. Yeah, we took a week off.
Yeah.
Preparing for our 10th week show.
Yeah.
10th episode. And we took a week off, and Disneyland caught on fire, and so that's proof that we should not miss another week. Because if we do,
I believe so. Yeah.
it's our fault. It's all because we missed a week.
I guess so. Right. And man, what a shame it was too. But we'll get into that in a little bit
We'll
here.
talk about that later. Yeah.
But no, it's been it's funny because 10 weeks, man, has just gone by so quick. It's gone by so fast.
Yeah.
It's insane. And we were talking about it right before when we got in here, and now it was we missed it. We really missed doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was weird, to have a week off. It kind of felt like a lot longer than it should have been, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah, we've gotten into a routine where we know.
Yeah.
So
and it's
and
it's a good time. It's a good time. So
it is. Yeah.
We're a little.
Hopefully everyone listening enjoys it too, or watching.
I hope so too. Yeah, because I mean we're having a blast doing this. So we got a little behind on some projects, but that's okay. They should still be on track. But I think we had both of us had personal stuff why we had to kind of take the week off. But I glad to be back, and let's get into the news.
Let's do it. Alrighty. So it's May, and
happy Star Wars month, guys.
Exactly,
Happy
Star Wars month. And Disney has graced us with a lot of new items.
Yes.
Food items, merchandise items. I won't really get into the merchandise stuff because it's I don't have a full list, but when it comes to the food, we've got tons of stuff. Well, before I even get into that, the big thing is the Grogu sipper that is on sale now. You can pick it up. It's at Disneyland Park. It's gonna be for this month only, supposedly. It's $29.79, and it just like every other Disney sipper comes with a lanyard. It's gonna be popular. I haven't heard any
of
course, I don't know if it's like Disney World with the Figment where people were lining up at 7 a.m. to get this. I haven't heard any of that, but it's very popular. You can get it over at, I want to make sure I get this. It's at Galactic Grill.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So you can get that at Galactic Grill. Tonight, as of recording, I believe is the first Disneyland After Dark for Star Wars night.
Yes, I believe so.
So this will be one of the first opportunities you can get it. So that's a cool thing, and as a part of this, they've got special photo ops at Downtown Disney. There's one for what's the new series? The Baby Jedis or something.
Oh,
I forgot what it's called. I could pull it up, but
you're talking about the
It's that new show that's coming on the thing.
I don't. I'm having a Anyway,
So there's that. There's also a new blue milk drink that is with.
Looks a little weird.
Let me get this right. It's blue milk Tenu swirl.
I don't know.
Cereal drink. So it's got strawberry and grape candy pebbles. So like pebble.
Pretty Pebbles.
Shoot, what is? Yeah, like Pretty Pebbles kind of thing. But I mean, people don't like the blue milk, so maybe this will be a nice touch, nice added thing.
Yeah, I'm more of a fan of the green milk, me personally.
Oh,
So yeah, oh, I
that's the
love the
rice
green
one, right?
No, that's the blue milk.
The blue milk's the
The
rice
blue
one, and that
milk's the
one's
rice
the
one. Yeah. The
okay.
green milk is the tropical like one. I don't know how to describe it, but it's so good. I personally like it way more than the blue milk, but that's just me.
Yeah.
And then they have the mango
I
version with the tahini. Oh, it's good. It's so good.
oh
It's so
yeah.
good, man.
My girlfriend would love that because she'll eat her own hand with tahini. She loves that
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
And it,
tahini's
yeah.
amazing. But yeah, no, that new one looks a little weird though. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
It does, but I mean I love strawberry. It's got a strawberry. It
I'll give
looks
it a
like it's got like
shot.
a strawberry puree mixed with it. Yeah, so I'll
Yeah,
definitely try it. And then of
which
course
we
you got
will
the
on our next trip to Disney, which
hopefully this.
will hopefully be this. It'll be this month for sure. Actually, it'll be this month for sure.
Mhm.
I have to renew my pass. So once that
Good
gets
luck.
all,
Have fun.
I hope. I know. I'm hoping, man. Once that gets all settled, you can definitely expect more. Well, hopefully more. I mean, we're pretty busy and everything. That's why we kind of do all this stuff. But hopefully we'll have more time to go to the parks and do more in park vlogs for you guys.
Yeah. And then if you got a sweet tooth, they have the Darth by Chocolate parfait, which I
Oh
don't.
yes,
This
they
is not
no
new.
no no
This
that's
is
a return. That's a
okay.
return
This
since
return.
Season of the Force. I want to say.
That's yes, because I've had this. It's
Yeah,
good.
it's good.
I
It's good.
like it. Yeah. Um. So it's $6.99. Galactic Grill, kind of your go-to place. And then to horrify you, they have a Grogu candy apple,
Oh yes.
which is at it's going to be at the Marceline Confectionery, and it's probably at the Candy Palace.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's at Pooh's Corner, probably not. But they don't usually get the
I
specialty
don't think
stuff.
so.
I don't think.
No.
No. So find that over there, as well. That one's $13.99 if you want to get that. But another news, if you're a Magic Key holder, which we both are,
Yes.
they have the IG-12 photo pass thing where they add that on there.
Mm-hmm.
So you take a picture with that. That's pretty much it. I mean, there's the yeah, we'll find out more, I guess, with what Star Wars nights and stuff, what
Yeah.
other offerings they have. But that was pretty much what I saw that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I know that
No new.
Disney World or no
new beverages for adults.
no.
Yeah.
No, I know that's what I was gonna think because
Yeah. Right.
Disney World
Imagine.
has the alcoholic blue milk and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
Which I don't know why they haven't brought that here. To be honest with you, I think that would actually be. Yeah, a lot of people complain about that actually. Whenever you're in Galaxy's Edge, I always hear someone sees me with a green or blue milk, and I'll have a random person come up to me and be like, "Does that have alcohol in it?" And I'm like, "No, this isn't what Disney World. Sorry."
yeah, and I think that's what it is. I think because it's Disneyland, I think it's gonna happen eventually.
Oh yeah.
But it took them 60 years to get alcohol in at Disneyland. That wasn't at Club 33. So I think
Yeah.
it's a slow rolling ball there. But I mean, the true Uber Disney traditionalists would lose their crud.
Probably.
I mean, they would lose their crap and all that. So I don't see that happening anytime soon, but I do think it's going to happen eventually.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
So,
But that's. Let me ask you this, because I know Star Wars is kind of like that's your.
yeah.
That's you follow that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the first time? It seems like they haven't done something like this since Season of the Force. Is this like the
I
first
want to say probably, yeah.
most recent where they just
I think
because there's a
so.
lot of these things.
Yeah, I don't remember anything recently aside from obviously the Star Wars nights, which aren't new. But I don't think I want to say this is probably like the recently anyway, in recent years. Yeah, this is the most they've gone out for May anyway. So
Yeah, that was cool because I mean I know that in the past, like at Disney World and stuff like that, they'll do like they'll release like the Black Series
yeah,
figures and stuff like that, and that'll always be like a May 4th kind of release.
yeah.
But
You got
I like
you
that the
got
parks are
Lego
doing
that
that.
always does stuff for
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah.
May. Which geez, let me tell you, that was hectic over there. But Um, yeah, yeah. I think this is the most Disneyland has gone out for in recent times. So
That was the other thing I saw. They had Boba Fett. They had a miniature Lego set of Boba Fett's ship. I
yeah,
think was one of the ones
the slave
in
one. Yeah.
addition to the Death Star. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um. So yeah, that was pretty cool stuff. I'm gonna go and I gotta get that parfait because
Parfait is good. Parfait
good.
is
Yeah.
really good. Um, but yeah, I think that's it for Star Wars.
Except for
Um,
Star Wars for
we're
now.
we're gonna take a trip over to Fantasyland.
Yeah.
For those of you that care about Fantasyland. Um, I mean, it is what it is. Um, they're gonna be
Too many
closing.
bottlenecks.
Too many. Thank God. You know, this is still gonna bottleneck even with these closing. Um,
Hmm.
they are going to be closing that entire show building that houses Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, and Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I believe it is for refurbishment. I think that's what they said. That's the
Yeah.
only thing I can think of. They're definitely not gonna add anything new. Um, in there. At least I don't believe they are. That's what we thought with Indiana Jones, and then they went ahead and
Right.
added that stuff. So we'll see. But I do think I think it's just for refurbishment. I think it's for building code and stuff like that. I think it's just safety, like for safety concerns and everything like that.
Mm.
Because I think it's been a while since that building's been updated. Like so.
Yeah. I mean, like full on like
Yeah.
renovations. Probably 40 years almost. 83 renovations and stuff.
Yeah. So
I
I think it's just for safety reasons at this point. But that is closing June, right?
Yeah, June 5th.
Mm-hmm.
And can we just talk about how horrible this summer is going to be as far as capacity? I mean, they're not huge capacity eaters, but those lines take a lot of people. And now
Yeah.
you've got three big attractions and Splash Mountain closing all in that right when summer is hitting its stride.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
It's gonna be a
so,
long summer, man.
mhm. So
Expect to see long lines in Indiana Jones, Rise of the Resistance, indoor rides mostly. So Indiana Jones is definitely going to be crowded. Pirates is going to be crowded. Haunted Mansion is going to be crowded.
yeah,
All the indoor stuff is going to be whew, man, that's going to be
it's yeah.
Space Mountain. Oh my lord.
Is waiting in Space Mountain queue just one of the worst experiences?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
It's so bad.
Oh man.
It's
So
ah, but
unfortunately, that's going to take a big brunt of the people. So
yeah, and also too. I mean, Peter Pan. That's so quintessential.
yeah, yeah. So
I haven't been on it in 7 years, so.
well, you
But
have a chance
for other
until
people,
June, until you know.
it's true.
So
It's
we'll
true.
see. If we catch a short line, maybe.
Yeah, I know. I want to be one of those people who goes
And rope
right after the
drops.
fireworks and they line up and they'll
Ah.
yeah, rope drop it, and I walk by and I'm like, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing?
Oh
I
yeah.
can't.
Oh, why did my
So
TV just turn on? That was weird. Anyway, sorry about
that's
that.
okie dokie. I thought something was happening right now. I was like, oh no, that's how it ends.
So but that's gonna be happening in Fantasyland.
Mhm.
Next thing we got going on, is well, I guess you said that they cleared out the seating outside for Hyperion
Yeah,
Theater, getting ready for
yeah.
Rogers the Musical.
Rogers the Musical. So they got rid of all the tables and chairs and stuff like that over there,
Mm-hmm.
and they're gonna start. I guess they're gonna start putting up the stanchions
The lines and
for
stuff like
the
that. Yeah.
for the lines and stuff. Really, I think I've said it before when this first got announced. It's a missed opportunity. You know, I
Well,
mean, Disneyland sits in Southern California, where this is the capital of entertainment. Why is it that this could not be a really swanky, luxurious theater? You know, that's what I
yeah.
would love if they had
And
done
it's
and
been
just said, you know
closed
what?
for some time. I feel like they could have.
Right.
Maybe they did. Maybe they renovated it inside. We don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel like they would have said something. Maybe they did. I don't know.
but
Give
I
them.
mean, the inside is beautiful.
Oh,
I mean, it's a
100%.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the outside that makes it feel like you're going in the back the back door.
Yeah, well, because you go up the stairs, don't you? You come out, you go in the same way you come out.
Yeah. Well, that's a big problem too, because they have to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's a quick turnaround show kind of thing, like Philhar Magic or something
30
like
minutes.
that. But right. So.
I mean.
But yeah, no, it's
30 minutes of us probably questioning why we're here, but it'll
exactly.
It'll be a 30 minutes, all right. It'll be a special 30 minutes. So
maybe don't let the TikTokers go and decide your next attraction. But
yeah, I mean,
social media.
We'll be there, I guess.
We say that now, but then everyone's gonna love it, and it's gonna be like Aladdin, and they're gonna all be sad in 7 years when it goes away, and you're gonna be like, oh. It'll be like that. That's what I think.
We'll see. Well, again, we're gonna watch it anyway. Probably more than once, because it's gonna be air conditioned. So it's gonna be a big thing for summer for sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So. I've sat through. I mean, Aladdin. I waited in line, and I waited in line for Frozen, and I'll probably wait in line here a couple of times.
So, but we'll be there. We'll be there for that for sure. And then it's what is it? American Islander Pacific Heritage Month.
Yes, it's Asian American Islander Pacific Month.
Yeah. I botched that so hard. I'm so sorry. That was terrible of me.
No, I mean it's a long thing. It's a long name. But they released a bunch of new food items and
That's
stuff.
That's going to be having at California Adventure, right?
It's actually kind of resort wide, mostly at California Adventure and the hotels.
Yes, obviously makes sense.
So yeah, I don't think Disneyland is really on this.
No, it's usually a California Adventure thing.
It's a California Adventure thing.
Festival food, wine. It's usually
Yeah, so Lamplight Lounge is going to get a Kung Pao Bao, salmon poke. They've got this is what I really want to try. They have milk teas. So they have a black tea, okay, they have they have a milk tea with black tea. I don't know. They have a bunch of stuff. But
yeah, I'm not a tea person, me personally. So, and I'm very picky when it comes to stuff like that. So I have no idea. I'll try some stuff. The pork belly that you mentioned earlier actually sounded really good.
And I think they've had it somewhere. Maybe I'm thinking of Epcot, because I know I've had it over there, I think.
Maybe.
But
I mean, they've had pork belly for sure at Storyteller's Cafe.
Right. Yeah.
But it's good. Yeah.
That is good. I know what you're talking about. We had it the last time we went.
Pork belly is so good, but But yeah, so
it's a black milk tea.
Black milk tea.
Black milk tea with sea salt cream and brown sugar boba. Not a fan of the boba, but
actually kind of sounds
almost
good. If it doesn't taste like tea, I'm all for it. But
yeah, I've never had Disney's version, but if you get like a really authentic like Thai tea place, which you can get a lot if you're coming to Southern California, if you're going down to Irvine and stuff like that, they have really good places. But yeah, the Paradise Garden Grill is going to have a sweet Thai chili chicken tenders with Thai chili sauce and a slaw with crushed almonds and a citrus vinaigrette with that too, and a cheese sauce. So, and then of course you've got Tungro Terrace is going to have some stuff. They're going to have a Loco Moco burrito with steamed jasmine rice, chopped garlic, beet patty, fried eggs, gravy, onions, and stuff like that. So
interesting.
It's interesting. Yeah, if you're into trying new things, that's definitely going to be the place to go and try it.
Which I am not, so we're good on that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
never did make. No, I didn't make it out to the Food and Wine Festival, so I feel like I'm a bad Disney foodie.
Yeah, we didn't. That was for different reasons though. We were just hurting on money and stuff like that. So that was a whole nother reason. But and time. But we'll see if we have time. Maybe we'll check it out. But there's a whole ton of other stuff we gotta do before that. So, but I think now it's time for the biggest sad news of all, which we of course missed. last week because we were taking our week. Fantasmic, man. Probably not gonna see that anytime soon. Well, no, it's not gonna be coming back until late May, right?
Yeah, I think they said the earliest would be like May 14th or something. Yeah.
So that's not coming back for at least a couple weeks. And if it is when it comes back, there ain't gonna be no dragon.
No dragon.
That thing is 7 feet under, unfortunately.
Well, the charred remain is.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's it's honestly, man, it's a shame. And I know you didn't know about this. I had texted you as soon as this happened.
You told me, yeah.
Yeah. It's a sad sight to see. And honestly, I'm actually really surprised that with even the new update that they did, which I don't you've seen the whole full 2.0 show, right?
Oh yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
Well, I'm a little. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But but you know how in the ending they have it where she now breathes fire after she dies, like after she's dying, she breathes the fire again.
When she they'll bend the neck up and go like that. Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised that with that new update that they did, that they didn't give her that they never made it a flame resistant animatronic.
I know, yeah.
Which is, I was very surprised that thing literally has a literal flamethrower attached to it. I'm surprised that is not a flame-resistant animatronic, actually.
And highly combustible fluids traveling up 45 feet to the top.
Not to mention,
of said flamethrower.
I think it's a hydraulic animatronic. I think, right? So it has it has the So I mean, there's many things that literally, as we saw, very flammable. I didn't think it was gonna be I thought at least the animatronic. I guess I don't even know what that was. I don't know if it's cloth or the
I don't know what
fabric, what it was, but I'm surprised that wasn't honestly flame resistant. Or maybe it was. Right. I don't know, because I mean it did take a minute for it to kind of burn up entirely.
Yeah, no, because even if you watch the videos, because there was someone who posted, and it was like a 30-minute long video. They just kept as they were having to be evacuated out, just holding it, and it stayed up the whole time.
Yeah,
I mean, it didn't.
It's.
Do we want to set the scene on what happened and like?
I don't even know if you can, man. It's so. I mean, basically, I remember. So there was a previous clip from being shown as well from that night. I guess the pyro wasn't working. I know the pyro at the end when Mickey's doing the sort like Sorcerer Mickey's doing the whole thing at the end. That wasn't working. It was just music and lights. There was no pyro going off.
When he's up on the mountain.
Yeah, when he's up on the mountain, and I don't think they were able to get like the regular Mickey in his suit. I don't even think they were able to get him. If I remember correctly, I don't think they weren't able to do it because there was no fireworks or anything. The trapdoor wasn't working. I don't think. So it just was Mickey, like it was Sorcerer Mickey doing the entire finale. So if I remember correctly, and then I guess second into the show, everything's fine. They get to the dragon comes up fine, breathes fire fine, and I guess something had to have happened. That after it breathed fire for the first time, I don't know if they never. I don't know. We don't know how it works. I mean, as far as I know, they've never gone into detail on if it's controlled or if it's a time thing. Because I know Mickey's firework gloves are timed. That's not controlled. That's timed.
Yeah. Well, we saw that cast member that
slipped.
That slipped and was like,
it has,
otherwise it's gonna be.
That's a timed thing. So I'd imagine maybe that the dragon is also timed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean everything's through show controls.
Yeah,
that's what I'd imagine. Know, yeah.
So I don't know if it just got what happened, but I just know it had a leak of fire at the end, and literally she's it's kind of funny because you can kind of see it. She's looking down, and at that point the fire's just kind of dripping out of her mouth, and
not part of the show, people.
Poor Mickey, man, didn't even know what was happening, and was still continuing on, and I think it's kind of fitting, to be honest, too, because it literally like as soon as he goes to point to like kill Maleficent, it's going now at this point. It's just leaking out at this point.
Well, yeah, that was the thing
Yeah.
because it misfired in the 9 o'clock show, the first showing, where it didn't quite go on cue. So it was like there's something a little up. Then that time it had already caught on fire.
Yeah.
By the time they were like, "This is my when he says this is my imagination, it's already like going.
Yeah.
It was, but yeah, like you said, it just started. It went bad real quick.
And I mean, it's kind of. I mean, thank God nobody was hurt. Obviously, right? It was kind of funny though to look at the videos and kind of just see Mickey just because he's just like like he's just like, oh, okay.
Well,
like,
I let you in on something? I don't want to ruin the magic, but through a friend of a friend, I know who was working that day as Mickey's friend during that scene, and they were like, there was like, you just don't know, you just didn't know.
Yeah, well, because I mean, you're not really worried about, you're doing what? It's probably like, I don't even know, however many, has to be in the triple digits at this point for shows of Fantasmic, unless you're new, I guess. But if you're probably a veteran Mickey, like, playing Mickey, I'd imagine it's probably like in your hundreds. So you're just kind of like, okay, it was kind of cool seeing it the first time. I'm not going to look at the dragon. I have my own cues. I have my own stuff to look about. And music going off. It's probably really loud on that stage over there. You have like, the audio and all that stuff. So I'd imagine, and you have like these little, just like holes you're looking through, right? So you can't really, you're not very, your peripherals aren't really working in that suit, I'd imagine. Yeah. So when you look up to go and like point, you're like, oh wait, that's not supposed to happen.
Right. Yeah. And it wasn't until they did the E-stop.
Yeah.
That I think, that Mickey got ushered off, which this is what was so weird about it. So they cut the show, right? And there's like a moment they turn on the regular
banjo music just going in the background as you see a dragon on fire.
On fire, and then by that point it had already ignited.
Yeah.
So it was already like the full head is engulfed.
Yeah.
And you just hear, Countdown Baby sing this song in banjo form. But then when they announced, like, due to circumstances beyond our controls, and then everybody just started laughing. And I thought to myself, I was like, that's the tourist brain. That's like the theme park brain right there.
Well, I think
where this thing is like a real, like, that's a real fire. This isn't supposed to happen. And everyone's just like, oh, it's all fun and games.
Well, I think the reason people are laughing though is because it's kind of self-explanatory that it's not going to continue, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the fact that it starts like they're like, well, due to unforeseen circumstances, the show will not continue. And it's like, well, I can tell. I mean, the stage is on fire, It's like,
but it was I was just amazed at how like people reacted to it. I don't know. For some reason, I thought also, people would go
to a certain extent too. You also got to. I think it's also kind of like, well, we're over here and it's over there. We're fine.
Right.
And I think,
I guess,
and an immediate, at least what I would think of, it's just human instincts, right? You're thinking about yourself at that point, and it's like,
right.
Well, I'm safe. We're fine. It's Disney. They're gonna put it out, which they attempted to, and they couldn't.
Hey, got to give that guy some props.
But I think it's so funny though, because in the video you can clearly see him. He goes, and it's a fire. I think it's a fire extinguisher, which is not what's meant to be used on a thing like that. Yeah. So he's just going at it, and then it just ignites, and he just looks up and goes, "Screw this," and just walks away. Like he's like, "Yeah, I'm not." Like,
yeah.
Because at that point, there's not much you can do, honestly. At that point,
right. Right. Well, because it was going. I think what he was doing was because it was going into the pit, right?
I'd imagine. Well, yeah, I think the trapdoor's open. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, that was wild. I saw that and I was like, what do you do? You're like, I'm not getting paid enough for this.
And it is funny because at a certain point you're like, well, this is also very dangerous because there's very real trees that are on that island.
Exactly, yeah.
So that could have very easily gone bad. It's probably very good. I mean, they built it in a way because they have fireworks going. They have fireworks literally shooting out from that stage anyway, so there can't be trees around that stage anyway.
Right.
So I mean, good on them for good design and ingenuity, I guess. But
Yeah.
but yeah, that could have gone very bad, very quick, very quick.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking about. It's like you could have. I mean, the wind just go one
Yeah,
one gust over that way, and
you got Disney closed for, well, at least I mean and they actually opened up Tom Sawyer's Island, or I'm sorry, Pirate Lair. That
Pirate Layer on Tom Sawyer's Island.
Yeah, they actually opened up that island pretty quick. I was actually very surprised.
Yeah, I was too. I really thought no,
Yeah,
because I mean, there's got to be they probably have to do like the police, not the police, the fire department's probably gonna do an investigation. Disney's got to do an investigation.
which I don't think they said
So,
what was the cause of it. I'm sure they found out by
mm,
now, but
yeah, I mean,
you have to. But yeah, they never really said what happened. I'm sure it'll come out at some point, but at least for now, they haven't. I don't think they've said anything. Um, Other than that, it was just. I mean, you can probably infer it was a leak of
yeah,
gas. Whose
whatever
fault
that
that
fluid is
was,
that they use.
whoever fault that was, if whether it be a cast members or if it was just faulty animatronic thing that happened. Because that dragon's kind of old.
Yeah, it's what 14 years old now.
About, yeah. So I mean, obviously not as old as, like, let's say, the no, because I don't even think I don't even think the Yeti was Harold. I don't even think Harold was that old when they got the new
Oh,
new animatronic.
yeah. No, he's from the 70s. He's
Yeah.
1977.
So it was.
You're talking about 30, 40 years.
Of course, he never breathed fire, so
True. Yeah, he also
uh,
only did this. He
right.
moved his hand.
Yeah. So
But
I mean,
like the Yeti in Expedition Everest at Disney World lasted 6 months, and then
yeah.
it
So
broke.
I mean, the more advanced you get with these things, the more you're gonna run into problems, because it's, instead of having one giant rig doing the whole thing, it's like, okay, well, we know what's the problem if it breaks because it's one giant motion that's going. But when you have intricate animatronics with little tiny pistons in each section,
Mhm.
you're like, okay, well, crap, which one is it? Is it the leg? Is it the arm? Is it the, it's not like very simple and clear. So I mean, you have a ton of things to look at, and I'm almost positive it was just a gas leak from the dragon. But
Yeah.
again, I no one knows how.
Yeah.
Like who's like what happened? If it was faulty animatronic, if it was a cast member, if it was, I don't even know, the elements. I don't know. But
I mean, they've had. I mean, there's a reason its nickname is Murphy.
yeah.
I mean, it had a lot of issues
Mm-hmm.
for a long time, and one of the biggest issues was because it's broken up into two parts. It's the bottom part, which is just all static.
Yeah.
It's just basically like a statue thing.
Yeah, it's just
And then the net,
that's what the hand is, and the
just
when
yeah.
she's holding onto the castle, which is cool, by the way. It's great animatronic.
It's a great, yeah. What I mean, that's a master class in how do you pose that thing?
Mm-hmm.
How do you pose this big thing, and how they do a great job.
I will say
but then that top part is just the neck.
Which those after images, man. It's something.
It was amazing that's all it was. Like I mean, the superstructure of it was just. I mean, it looks
a crane.
like
it really is. It's just a crane.
Yeah.
Which is,
but
it's sad to see Murphy just reduced to that.
I know.
It's
going
sucks,
out.
Man.
It really does, and I think. I mean, that was the whole, like, that was the ultimate climax to that story, that show. Nothing you could do could top that figure.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, even 14 years later, people were still going, "Oh my gosh." I mean, I remember taking my girlfriend was not a show person. They didn't do fireworks, they didn't do parades, Fantasmic, none of that stuff. And when she saw that for the first time, she was like, "This is unreal." And it was a really unique thing, and I know we talked about when it happened, but I just don't see them building this thing again.
That's
I don't see.
That's the next thing I wanted to talk about was we are very incredibly lucky to see that thing in action.
Mhm.
And
Multiple times, yeah.
It's one of those things you're like, well, it'll be there, you know,
Exactly, yeah.
until they announce that it's going away. So you kind of take it for granted a little bit, and it sucks, man, because we're probably never gonna see that again, to be honest, to a level like that. Anyway, I don't think.
No, yeah. I mean, they're gonna. It's probably gonna be like what it used to be with the big cherry picker boom crane thing with the
Yeah,
head and the
yeah.
drapery hanging from behind.
We're not. Disney spent so much money on that damn sure, so much money, and I guarantee you they'd rather make a new animatronic than pay to get that one fixed. And maybe
Why? If yeah,
maybe we're wrong. Maybe Josh Tomorrow and Bob Iger are gonna be like, you know what, let's take this and make it better, and get a better dragon, which I mean it could very well happen. It very much
yeah,
could, but I just don't know, man. I just don't know.
yeah. I mean, Garner Holt,
and if we do, is it gonna do the same stuff? Is it gonna breathe fire anymore?
Right. Well, that's the thing. So after this happened, they stopped.
They stopped pyro.
Yeah, that kind of like low, I don't know, flames and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All across the
parks.
The company.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the parks. So, which they did. I mean, they did that with Big Thunder when they had the accident here.
Yeah.
In 04 or 03 or 04. They closed all the Big Thunders and stuff. And when Disneyland Paris, they had an accident with Big Thunder where the rock fell off. Remember the old scene with the rocks?
Oh no, I didn't.
The boulders moving stuff. Yeah. So before they got the explosion scene that we have now, they used to have the boulders falling in that final lift hill. And in Paris, because the maintenance was so bad, one of the rocks fell off and hit a guest while they were going up the train. And they closed all of the Big Thunders and figured out why was it falling off and all that stuff. So I mean, they've done that before.
But it's a shame though, man, because
it is.
That was like a spectacle to and that's the best. That's the best looking animatronic I think Disney. I'm sorry, but Disney has ever done.
It was, yeah. I mean, if you had a fear of what's the fear megla
oh the
mechanophobia or something, anyway,
that thing was scary. If you were
it was.
I mean, the only
it really was.
Well, that's a lie. I will say that is a lie. The only better animatronic is the actual dragon on the bottom of the castle at Paris.
Oh yeah. Well, now that one's
remarkable.
That one is, and it's scary. I mean, it genuinely looks really
detailed and really good. But
yeah.
But aside from that, that is the best animatronic Disney has ever gone ahead and created. And I was actually
also
watching
one of the largest ones.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. What is that, like 13 feet or something like that? It's big.
It's 45 feet tall.
45 feet tall. Jesus,
I don't know.
13 feet tall. What the fuck? Yeah. No, that is it's a big animatronic.
I think it's in the top 3 because you've got the Yeti, which was, I don't know how tall that was, but it weighed a couple of tons.
The Expedition Everest one?
Yeah, Expedition Everest one. And then the one in Shanghai, I don't know what that is, the little Godzilla dragon.
Oh, that thing's scary, man. That thing is scary.
Yeah. So that one's pretty big too. I think that one might be the biggest at the moment.
But I mean, in terms of like, you're just like, wow, that thing is cool. That dragon is just, and it breathes fire, man. Like it breathes fire. That's so cool. Like,
true, yeah, you can.
I remember because the other one wasn't like really. It didn't have a flamethrower like the cherry picker had. Right? It didn't have a flame. It just kind of had a burst, right?
I think it would do like one thing of fire.
This is a literal, I think, 45-degree angle.
It's like it sustained it a lot more.
Yeah, it's a flame. It literally is it's a flamethrower inside the mouth, and you can always see it. Like, I mean, you can feel it too, man. When that thing breathes fire, you can feel it, and you're a couple hundred feet away from that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy. You can see and you can see the gas right before it blows the gas, and then the flame ignites. It's so cool, man. And then And the music, it fits so well and then when the water's on fire and all that stuff, the lighting is just it's so good, man. It's so good.
Yeah, it's. I mean, this Fantasmic really is the best. I think really the best nighttime thing that
Yes.
they have
Yeah. I
in
mean,
any park I've ever been to.
I've loved that show ever since I was little. Like literally going like I remember the old Fantasmic very good because we used to watch it so many times, and I used to go so many times because I used to love going to that show. And even back then, man, even that crappy dragon, I enjoyed seeing that thing. I don't enjoy it
Yeah.
now because what we used to have, but I mean, like but like
Exactly, yeah.
the dragon was always like the highlight. That's what I think is so weird too. Going forward with Fantasmic, currently, you don't have a dragon. I mean, you do.
Right.
They're gonna go B mode, obviously. Then they're gonna use the projection. That's good,
Yeah,
obviously.
which it's always whenever that happens, you just go, ugh,
yeah.
really?
It's not the same, but that's the thing though. Disney's Fantasmic in both parks, every park actually that has it, even the Tokyo Sea version has a dragon in some capacity, shape, or form, that in a physical sense.
Yeah.
I'd actually be kind of cool with
Tokyo's is.
It's just the dragon head. She comes out of the mirror.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, it's literally just the dragon, which is very good, very detailed. I'd be cool with just that, honestly, too. To be honest with you, I think that would be fired though too.
Yeah.
I'd be cool with if they went that route. I'd be cool with that route too. Or the alternative route, which I think they should do, but I'm biased, is build a Trinibog animatronic. I think that'd be phenomenal. Make him the big bad.
Yeah. So yeah, they used to do in Spectro Magic at Disney World. They had a Chernobog float that looked like a mountain, and then it would just open its wings, and it would just the full figure was there, and it was. I mean, it obviously not an animatronic or anything, but yeah, no, I could really see that.
I think they should make one, man. I'm telling you, I think it would be a hit. Everybody knows Chernobog. Everybody loves Chernobog. I think we go for it, man. And it could legitimately be something scary. Maybe that's why they don't do it. But I don't know.
He would, yeah.
He'd be awesome. He'd be so awesome. But
that would be cool. That's my favorite. One of my favorite parts of Fantasmic is the Night on Bald Mountain scene.
Oh, the actual score itself is cool. I like the score, but the Fantasmic score for it is so much better. So much better. That little part is it's so, oh my god, it's great. Night on Bald Mountain is actually a very good. It's one of my favorite like orchestral pieces, to be honest.
It is, yeah.
But,
I love that part.
But man, I'm just. It sucks because it's Fantasmic without the dragon. It's just not Fantasmic. It's not.
It's not. It's not Fantasmic at all. It's. I don't know. What is? It's just it's poor man's world of color is what it is.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah.
We had. I mean, me and you were talking. We had like great memories of Fantasmic. Honestly, my mom, when we'd go when I was little, would have us to get the best seats to be in front of the gate to see the dragon and see the fire. She would literally, we'd get there in the morning or sometimes in the afternoon, like around maybe 1 or so. And she would be like, okay, you go, go take your, she would tell my brother and my sister, go do what you guys want to do. I'll be sitting here waiting for Fantasmic. And she would wait the entire time until it was time. And she enjoyed doing that. I mean, this was back, obviously, before you had to get the whole tickets and everything. So she would bring some snacks, and sit on the blanket and just wait.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. No, we were like that, too. I remember going to a friend's birthday, and her one thing was like, we've got to see Fantasmic. And so her mom and older sister just sat there for, I mean, it was hours. It was they probably sat there for 12 hours probably. We got there at 8 and waited just until they could get that. And I remember that. I remember those days, the blanket warriors who had to, you had to lay out your spot and stuff. And when they went to the fast pass stuff, I mean that just changed the whole game. And then
kind of ruined it, honestly.
packages. Yeah. Well, that was the thing. It was like, because we also were people who sometimes we would do that, and sometimes we would walk up, and you could walk up on the second show.
Yeah, and it would, and you'd be able to
get a good
good
enough spot.
and I remember they like their whole thing was like, oh well, people, it's like it's not fair to people who like, but and like who kind of come like late, and it's like, well, no, that's not fair because there's people that solely buy that ticket just for that. Let them do that. That's fine. Like it's if that's what they want to spend their money on, then go ahead. You know, if they want to spend their $80 ticket, the time obviously, you know, $80-$90 ticket to just go watch a show for 28 minutes, you still get the money.
It's
Let
right.
them let them do that. You know, that's fine. Um and it just like I don't know, man. I know this whole thing became people started selling like their whole like you know their thing and all that stuff. Obviously, like that's what ruined it for everybody. But like still, like I don't know, man. Like I remember when they did change the fast pass, it really just kind of like ruined everything. But man, those are like my earliest memories. I remember that, and I just like I'm like, dude. Now I know we said we were gonna talk about 2.0 and my disdain for 2.0. I okay, so here's my thing, right? I'm a fan of what they did with the projections. I think the projections are a great idea. That was awesome. You know, having that, you know, on the stage illuminate LED all that stuff. That's cool. Yeah. What I'm not a fan of is trying to make it like Walt Disney World and add in Hakuna Matata, add in like this like, you know, Friend Like Me and all that stuff and I don't I just that's not, you know, what I grew up with, and I know that's probably like, you know, what it is. But I don't know. I just there's so many people that would come to Walt Disney World and say you guys have the better Fantasmic, hands down.
Oh yeah.
And then you change it to make it like Walt Disney World, and you're like, well, now this sucks. Like I find myself constantly going back on YouTube and watching the old Fantasmic with Peter Pan in it, and not to say that the Pirates of the Caribbean thing is cool. But I think Peter Pan is better because it doesn't kill the momentum of the show. I feel like Pirates of the Caribbean kills the momentum of the show.
Well, yeah, and it's also the one live action film that they mentioned, and that was what people always complained about. But yeah, I missed that, and I missed that they used to have the TikTok croc following behind.
Yes.
The Columbia.
Yeah.
And
I mean, like, I mean, obviously, Flotsam and Jetsam just doesn't work. They just they sink to the ground. But I mean, you know, I mean, they could have brought them. They could have tried to bring them back.
You know? The jet ski, the Ursula thing.
Yeah, the Flotsam and Jetsam when they used to do it and all that stuff. But I mean, and they changed the monkeys.
They did.
Yeah, they look more neon now instead of like actual like costumes. They're just like a neon lights now, and it's like what. And I don't know, man. I just wasn't a fan of it. That change and then they completely cut the villain segment so short.
Yeah, because they used to have a lot more, right? That each character had more moments.
Kind of a little bit. The big one was the Evil Queen when you actually got to see her transform, which I thought was cool. I still enjoyed that. That used to scare me as a kid because I hated the old hag, but like I mean that was cool. Now she just shows up as the old hag. You don't get to see the transformation, and I'm like, what the heck?
They still have that at Disney World.
Yeah,
that's still part
and I'm like, dude, and I actually Disney World updated theirs, and I think theirs is actually better than ours now.
Really? Hey, don't say that.
No, it's true.
Running
it's
across
true.
water, we don't want that.
It's true though. I mean, that's so cool. Like the Moana thing is pretty cool. They have a little short stint to "I'll Make a Man Out of You," which is cool. Cool. I like the whole I like. There's so many. They have a instead of Pocahontas, it's Aladdin now. I think. Where they do the thing. Which is pretty. It's kind of sad actually. But I saw a video recently. I guess the actor for Aladdin, when he was doing the thing, he missed and like.
He missed it. Yeah, he did a good job though. I mean, he was able to recover when he swung back.
But he missed the drop off point. But no, I'm like that. Like that's so much better than ours. Like 100% so much better than ours. The only thing that we had over them still was the dragon.
And the boat, the Steamboat Willie boat, is kind of dinky.
Oh yeah, Our Mark Twain boat is way better than that.
Yeah, I mean they get half the characters on it, and it looks like.
I mean they tried to. I think they really tried to recreate the Steamboat Willie ship.
Yeah, and sometimes it just needs to be a cartoon. You can't translate it.
Yeah.
Now I'll tell you, because when I was a kid, Disney World's Fantasmic was like the thing we had to go see.
Mm.
And over there, it's a different atmosphere because you have the auditorium, like the huge
I will say I
auditorium.
think that is a little bit better that they have actual seats.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is good in the capacity wise because yeah, everyone gets a seat and everyone has a pretty unobstructed view.
Yeah.
Whereas some places at ours, you can get stuck behind a tree or the light tower
Yeah.
or something like that. But the problem is that when you're in that big auditorium, that dragon coming out doesn't scare you as much as when you're sitting over there in New Orleans Square.
And
So that's
there's
the
a real threat
problem.
of a fire. Yeah.
And there's that too, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Went out in a blaze of glory. But
I
yeah, no,
mean, I don't know, man. And then another big thing that really upset me. They changed the soundtrack.
yeah,
They
and
redid it.
that was something that everyone was upset about, especially, yeah. What I hated was they got rid of the original voice.
Yes,
of,
yes. Yeah, you were telling me that, yeah.
hmm And the guy, Irwin is his last name. I forgot what his first name is.
Yeah.
The current voice of Mickey was like, "Can we just leave?" Because he's a huge fan of Wayne's version of Mickey, and he's like, "Can we just leave the Some Imagination as his? We just leave it." And they were like, "No, it's got to be story consistent. They're gonna know it's not your voice. It's two different Mickeys and stuff."
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a big. To me, that was a big.
No, 100%. And I think when I saw it, I was like, this is weird. This Fantasmic is not it, man. Like even the when I saw it for the first time when 2.0 came out, and we went there, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm excited. Let's see, like Pirates of the Caribbean is gonna be so cool, like all this stuff, right? And that, as far as I knew, I think Pirates of the Caribbean was the only new thing that I knew about. I don't think they had told anybody else kind of about the other stuff. So
Yeah, that was the big one.
I was like, this is gonna be cool, right? See pirates, all that stuff. And it starts off, and right away I can hear the change in the music, and I'm like, what is this? This isn't Fantasmic. I was like, what am I watching? Some bad production of like of like some Broadway, like off Broadway type of, and I'm like, what is going on?
And now Roosevelt High School would like to present their production of Fantasmic.
That's what, and I was like, what the heck? And then what killed it for me instantly was when you hear Mickey go, oh, and I'm like, oh no. I'm like, why? Why did you have this man make noises in the beginning? Like, why?
Yeah, I don't. Now that you mention all this stuff, you're like, that is all. Yeah, it all kind of is coming back to me now, the original and stuff.
And it's so much better, man. Like it's like had they left, like the original soundtrack intact and just added that new stuff, I think would have been a lot better. I don't know, man. Like at them adding the Rapunzel and Flynn Rider, that was cool. They knocked out Snow White and said, "You gotta leave. You're done. Your time here is done."
Yeah. Talk about out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah, they said, your time here is done. Thank you very much for your service. Get out.
Snow White's soundtrack is always gonna be better than Tangled.
I don't know about that one.
Oh,
I'll be honest. I think that's one of the better changes. I will say was that.
Really?
I see now I see the light is a very beautiful song.
Yeah, but can you beat the Wishing Well song?
Oh yeah.
See.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I think we got a dueling Disney going
now,
on here.
Are you saying I ho is superior?
True.
That I will agree with you on. But
and the Whistle While You Work.
Yeah. But I just like everything else. Like Aladdin and Jasmine, I kind of didn't want to see in there. They kind of kill the whole thing. And I'm like, jeez, man, like what the heck? The again, her just being the old hag kind of killed it. And I will say, even the dragon part when they project Maleficent onto the stomach of the dragon, I'm like, wow, like what are we doing? Come on, like why is that there? I'm like, I don't know about that one, man.
It's like those old kids toys with the glow.
Yes.
Like the glow stomach.
Yes, and I'm like,
turned her into a Teletubby.
Like, why is that there? Like, I don't know. I didn't like that, but
what's interesting is that you mentioned the Aladdin part with the when the
Yeah.
Friend Like Me part. There was a time when they had all 3 nighttime shows at Disneyland had Friend Like Me in the
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
because it was in, I think it was in the
World
60th anniversary shows and World of Color. It's in
Color.
Mickey's Mixed Magic.
And there's
They
and they took away Pinocchio too. Now it's just a projection. It's not even Pinocchio. It's Mickey. As
It's Mickey, which I thought was a nice little callback. If you knew,
yeah.
if you knew
Yeah.
that.
I mean, that was cool. But like, I would have liked to see the Pinocchio thing still be there.
Yeah.
I
But
don't
they kept
know.
the whale scene.
Yeah. Well, they kept that,
So,
but which is weird. Then I don't
right.
know.
That's the thing. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
No. Yeah. Because it was yeah. I don't know, man. It again. The part the decorations for Pirates of the Caribbean is cool on the Columbia with the ripped up sails and all that stuff. That's pretty cool. But I mean,
she needs to stop the compass thing. They needed better business. The yelling about the compass. Just give them the compass.
It's I don't
stop.
Yeah, they really didn't.
Funny?
They didn't think about it.
No, they didn't, and they didn't. It's like somebody was like, "Okay, he's trying to get the compass. That's why they're all running around." But then you realize, wait a minute, this thing takes like probably 5 minutes to get around the thing. And one time we were walking from Big Thunder over to Haunted Mansion, and we followed the thing, and we're like, "Wow, they really do just talk about the compass the whole time."
Yeah.
And
but they're hoping everybody's gonna be like, "Oh wow, it's so cool!" Like, oh, the skeletons. There's a glowing object for some reason that his compass is glowing for some reason. Like,
right, she's glowing. No one else is glowing, but her dress is glowing.
Black
light. She said, "Yeah, there's a little bit of a scene where you're like, oh, that's kind of risque."
That's kind
of the line I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Well, because he's like, "You have what I want," and she's all like, something, and he's like, "Don't be so," or no, she says, "Don't be." I forgot what it was, but that's.
Yeah. No.
It was like I was like, oh, I don't know.
Another thing that I actually thought that Walt Disney World did better too was instead of Ka, they had Jafar as a snake, which I did think that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I think it was just probably like we have too many villain things.
Yeah, well, no, theirs had way too many villains.
They do, but see, it's Disney World. They love their villains.
Yeah, but it just doesn't make any. I know, Blue Sky. Oof. But no, but that one like
Kingdom
made no sense because Frollo's in there when he do. I think there's one note of Hellfire, and then it ends.
Sure. Yeah.
But like Frollo's in there, I think Hades, which they don't really do anything. Scar, which he just roars. Who else is in there? Obviously the ones we have here: Jafar, Cruella de Vil. There's a whole bunch of villains in there. Ursula, yeah, there's a whole bunch of villains in there. Then I'm just like, they really just kind of pop up to say hi and then go.
Yeah. Like,
so
hey, we exist, and
yeah, and so that's why I'm kind of like I'm kind of hoping that we had gotten more there, you know, and they really just rush it because even like Maleficent, I think like instead of the whole like now you will deal with me thing and all, like it instead of her just being on the ground and saying it and kind of slowing down a little bit, like the music, it goes into Night of Blood Mountain, like now, like I'm talking about the show now, like it's going into Night of Blood Mountain. Night of Blood Mountain ends, and then she's already rising, and she says, "Now you will deal with me," and all, you know, and it's like it just kind of like they're like, okay, we made the show 2 minutes longer, we got to keep going, like we got to, you know, and it's like, man, you know, like I don't know. Like there's things that are cool in that show that I think is really cool, right? Like I said, the projections, all that stuff. They added a little bit of the Sorcerer's Apprentice theme, which is
at the end.
At the end. Well, actually, I wasn't a fan of that one. Doing it at the end, I thought that was kind of a little lame, to be honest. It's like you know, because the ending is already so iconic. You don't need to kind of put that in there, you know.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. No, but they put it in the beginning, like it's, you know, kind of already, maybe that was already in there. I don't know. I don't remember. But that stuff is cool. But again, just adding Mickey kind of making noises. I will say it was a lot better because there was, I'm kind of, I know you said that you didn't like how they redid, like, you know, all the lines for Mickey. But I will say it is a lot more clear to understand what he's saying.
Oh yeah. No, I mean there was
Yeah.
definitely a reason that they did it.
Yeah.
It's not that they just were like, we gotta.
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah,
update it, so we're gonna have to. Yeah, no, I mean, like, I didn't,
30 years old. I mean, it's gonna.
I didn't
Yeah.
know when he sees, like Maleficent. I didn't know he said, "Oh no." I
Did
thought
you?
he just
What
made
do
a
you think?
random noise. I was like, "What?" I was like, "Who makes that noise? Is that Maleficent or is that Mickey?" Like, it was never clear to me, and now, it's clear to me. Like, I mean, looking like obviously knowing that he says "Oh no" now and going back, you're like, okay, I can hear it. Like now I know he says "Oh no,"
Hmm.
but like before that context, like I'm like, oh, I thought he just made like a random noise for some reason. Like I was just like, okay,
It's like when you find out that Rocket Man, that's really what they're singing about, and
yeah, you're right. And I'm just like, oh, all right then.
Secret Agent Man. Oh, okay, that's what it is, huh?
So I was like, oh, but but yeah, no, I mean, there's just stuff that I think just shouldn't have been changed. Me personally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, did you? I don't know if this was before our time, but the Ursula animatronic they used to float by.
I
Did you remember that
I
as a kid? I
feel
don't
like
remember as
I
a kid,
did,
but
but like it sounds familiar what you're saying, but I don't know. I just distinctly remember Flotsam and Jetsam. That's it.
right. And I think that's what happened. So she would go first, and then they would follow behind. And I think
Yeah,
after there was an accident or something, and they stopped using her, and then they just had them
and then they
going
kept
around.
sinking. So
Which, yeah, exactly. Which Disney, for some reason, they can't get the jet ski thing to work because
yeah,
Epcot forever had the jet skis, and those had problems. The show in the '90s at Epcot had jet skis and had problems, and then
yeah, it's terrible. But I mean, Fantasmic, man. It's a great show. It's a timeless show.
it
Um,
is. It's amazing, like just the way that they were like, what if we put a show in in the park? Like, what if we did like a
yeah,
nighttime show that wasn't a fireworks? And they did so much, just like redeveloping that whole area
yeah.
to put in the seating and stuff like that.
And
And
the logo is so cool. The old logo, and we remember when they used to sell the CDs in the magic shop,
yeah, oh
and
yeah,
there
I
was the
love that.
we used to have the Fantasmic CD. I think we still do, or maybe I think it was my mom's old car that we got rid of, unfortunately, that we forgot to take
Oh,
out. But I used to play that thing all the time. I used to literally put it in there. We'd listen to Fantasmic on the way to Disneyland, coming home from Disneyland. When I would go to school, sometimes I just put it on. When she was driving me. Um, and the cover on I would look at the cover on the CD, and I was just like, this is
yeah,
such a cool logo. Like it's just
yeah.
making, and the dragon is just so detailed in it, and it's just so cool logo. It's such a cool logo.
I think that's a Joe Kenny Dale. What's his name? Gosh, I can't remember anything today. Um, it's a famous Imagineer who did the concept work for it, and um I think his name's Kenny. I can't. I'm totally blanking on it. Do you know that the original name was supposed to be Imagination?
Hmm.
That was the original. That's why it sings Imagination. They changed it at the last minute because they're like, can't copyright it. So
Yeah,
the shirts and stuff like that. We need something that's a little bit more.
and
Which
Fantasmic I think is way better.
it's a great name,
Yeah,
and I mean, it has like kind of that callback to Fantasia, and then it's
yeah. So I think there's a timeless man, timeless.
so yeah, no, that's a great show. And you say because I mean, the pessimistic side of me thinks they're never going to build the dragon again, but
Me too, a little
I
bit.
just remember, yeah, but I do remember they do make a lot of money off of those dining packages, and I think that not having that dragon takes something out of that show
Yeah,
that would make people go and say, "Do I really need to go to Blue Bayou for X amount of dollars to get the dining package and stuff like that? Do I need to go to uh, Riverbell Terrace or something like that for
yeah.
this if it's not?" So that might be the saving grace of that show
Hopefully,
of getting the dragon back is
because you can't do it without it. You just can't.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
well,
Mhm.
that was the news, and
That was the news, and
we our little thing on Fantasmic that we will surely miss. We wanted to do something big for our 10th episode. Unfortunately, the Dragon caught on fire, so that kind of happened. But so yeah. But I mean, Murphy will be missed.
Yeah,
Murphy will be missed.
Murphy.
So
yeah, well, we're
I think it's time.
ready to put this. Yeah, ready to put this one to bed. Well, folks, thank you guys again for I did it again. Thanks everyone for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode and all the news that we talked about. We actually had some news this time. It was great.
Yeah.
Good discussions and stuff. So anyway, folks, until next time, next week, I'm Steve. That's Armando over there. And we'll see you next time with another edition of the Way of Magic podcast. Have a great week, everyone.
R.I.P. Murphy. Hey there, everyone. Thanks for watching this episode of the Way of Magic podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and you like our content, don't forget to subscribe and like this episode, and don't forget to turn on notifications for when we upload.
And if you prefer to listen to this podcast instead, you can find the Way of Magic podcast on Amazon Music, Google Podcast, Spotify, and even Spotify for podcasters. Thanks for listening.